Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Eduardo, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Rachel. Thank you. How are you?
Doing good. I'm excited. What a year, right? I mean, going from this time last year to this time, we're scheduling our first in-person meeting. That's really exciting.
Isn't that great?
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm excited too, especially for what's coming. It's gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah,
I'm a
yes,
little scared, but I'm very excited for the outcome because it's gonna look so good. It's really
yes,
gonna look good, and
yes,
and I think it's talking about um, review on the breeding contracts module. I think it's already past due thing we should have done
yeah,
because I get it. The current version that we have of the breeding contracts in Wise Option is good for basics, but
hmm,
things are getting so complicated nowadays with breeding
yes.
season, and
Oh, yeah,
rebreeds and contract goes to the next year, syndications. Now we have XC, we have leasing mares. Contracts
yes,
is no longer about the owner of the mare, but the owner of the baby. There's so many things for us to talk about that I said, you
yes,
know what? We have received so many requests and so many people saying, it makes me sad when I see users having to go for additional Excel spreadsheets out of Wise
yes,
Option. And my
right,
intention with this new module is, to again get rid of some Excel spreadsheets and centralize the
right,
information in one place with the proper questions. So we go, you know, left to right, top to bottom, everything that a breeding contract is needed, as
yes,
well as the integrations with XCs, which makes me even more excited, about this
yes,
because now that we are in the cloud, let's use
yes.
it. Let's make it work
Oh,
for us,
yeah. Heck
right?
yes, definitely. I'm all
So
for
yes,
it.
today
Yes.
I think it's more for people to come up with questions, but usually our users are very shy. So I believe we should maybe try to, if somebody out there is watching, and we're here to answer your questions. So please don't hesitate to, if you're watching this alive, don't hesitate to just send the the questions you may have. But if you're not watching this alive, if you're getting this after fact, we're going to try to cover as many items as we can. I'm pretty sure, Rachel, that you have some topics there that we should discuss.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
before diving into the topics itself, what are you expecting about this meeting? What's your expectations around it?
Well, I'm just really excited to be having it and to be participating in it. That's my little bit,
Yeah,
like
I
I
agree
said,
with
it's a
you.
shock. I mean, to go from, where we were last year, to now having in-person meetings, this is really exciting. And I'm really excited to be a part of it now,
True.
which is awesome. But yeah, no, I mean, as far as people that are going to be coming and our users that are going to be coming here, like you said, it's going to be a heavy day of discussion for both days. It's there. And as you probably kind of listened when you were listening to Eduardo discussing and talking about some of the things we're going to be talking about, it's a large topic. Each one of those in and of themselves is very large. That's why we gave them their own individual day. And we know that some users are AmeriCare and stallion facilities, but they don't have anything to do with ICSI aspirations, nothing like that. So that's why, again, it's two separate days. So if you only, really utilize the stallion breeding contracts and want to be a part of that, just come there on the 9th. That's your day. That's that contract date. And the next day, the 10th, is going to be about the ICSI module. So vice versa, or if you would like to be a part of both, you're more than welcome to, and we'd love to have you for both. But just so you know, it's not required to go to both. You can pick one or the other. Like I said, that's all there. So, like I said, a full day of discussion. Lunch, of course, lunch is included in this, as well. So we'll break for a little quick lunch and come right back to it. But yeah, a
Yeah, it
full
should be
day of
real quick
discussion.
because we have so much work to do that I think it's going to be real short. Good. It's a
Yes,
work day. It's going to be a
yes.
work day.
It is. It is going to be a work day, but you know what? It's an exciting work day in that you're planning something that's going to be a part of what you use every day. And, you know, everything that you've hoped for, especially like you're saying, the stallion breeding contracts have gotten so much more complicated than they used to be when first started back in 2002. You know, things have grown and developed in this industry, and that's definitely something that needs to reflect that.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really exciting part for our users to be a part of, and to actually, you know, meet in person and to discuss all the possibilities, you know, and making sure that meets every need, to cut out a lot of those Google sheets that have popped up.
We want to, like I said, we want to simply eliminate, if possible, all different kinds of external Excel spreadsheets that we might have. We want to integrate some nice features out there, like, for example, a possible integration. We have already started making some studies on integrating WiseOption with DocuSign, which is, I believe, the most popular platform out there where people can sign documents online. So imagine, for example, just for the sake of teasing a little bit what we're going to be discussing on the meeting, you know, WiseOption templates, you have all your different breeding contracts. So you just pick one of them, merge the data, WiseOption integrated with DocuSign sends the version of merged document. They cannot change, they cannot alter, make anything. They will sign the document, returns to you, and it goes into the patient or the mare file or the breeding contract repository, because in this case we're going to probably have a repository for the breeding. The documents are going to be attached to each breeding contract, therefore to that particular mare / stallion as well. And we can cut chases, we can, you know, expedite the process. And like I used to say in software, when you invest time by coming to a meeting like this, I understand, I get it, guys. It's breeding season. It's really hard to get a day. But here's why. Number one, people are asking me, why are you coming with this so early and, you know, such a last minute, and we are still in breeding season. The idea is for us to have at least version 1 of this new version of breeding contracts by October 1st, when most operations start receiving the load of new contracts for breeding season 2022. So we must get ready for that. That's the reason we are doing so early now. It has nothing to do with the webinar. Probably you guys already saw the date for August, which we're going to host our webinar in the first week of August, as we do every year. This year is going to be a 2-hour webinar, not only 1 hour. It's going to be a 2-hour because we have so much to explain and talk about. But this meeting in particular, I need to sit down with, you know, in person. That's why I made it in person, because there are so many variables. And in the scope of this contract, I want to go as far as the escrow accounts for stallion owners that we need to provide reports, you know, at the end of each season. And I want to consider everything that is possible in between. Like I said, rebreeds, leasing mares, EXCs. You know, now we're having so many variables, more than one. For example, EXCs, you might have the same mare on the same cycle for a particular aspiration. We might have 2 or 3 stallions. So a contract is actually maybe bound to a different variations, how our users would like to have that handled. And going as far as, you know, allowing your customers to request contracts through your website. So you get the contracts. We are going to try to expedite the process. That would be about the breeding contracts. So as you can see, I'm going to stop right here because that's why
you're starting the meeting. Stop it. We're not doing the meeting right now.
I get so excited. My brain starts, you know, getting already popping up with these ideas. Thank you. I need to stop right there, and that's why we need the whole day. On the EXC side, you know, I've seen places exchanging text messages in Google spreadsheets, and there's so many redundancies and so many gaps and openings for human error, because come on, computers are good doing those dumb things, but we humans, we are terrible in repetition. We
Much
never
less to do.
perform the same task twice the same way. So we need to cancel that. And I'm 100% sure that this is a great opportunity. We have to make technology work for us instead of
Yes.
using this. So there you go. I'm going to stop there. I promise you.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. I'm glad you got to describe. I was going to let you go on a little bit more about the ICSI stuff and give people an idea, just a little bit of what, we're looking at for, I know we did a really good job explaining the Stallion contracts, but that's kind of what the direction we're going with that. Now, if we could just, I'll cut you off at 2 minutes.
Side, I would say, if you are handling a good number of mares, if you're handling more than, 20 mares, I would say in ICSIs per year, you should be in this meeting. If you are an aspiration facility, if you are performing aspirations, no question, you must be in this meeting. And if you are performing the injections, if you're an ICSI center, no question, you should be in this meeting. Here's the thing. Like I said, there are so many text messages, and it's so hard to keep everybody on the page and keep everybody in the loop and what's going on. So especially how are we going to do with this? It's such a huge question mark from the start until the point when you know how many embryos you get, that we need to expedite the process as much as possible. So imagine the following situation. I am a facility, I'm taking care of the mare, so we are getting close. The mare is getting close for being inseminated. I'm going to send this mare for an aspiration. From that point on, everything should come back to me automatically, So, and as we have most of these facilities out there, the high percentage of them, it's ready in Wise Option. We just transfer the records. They update. We can receive notifications through the mobile app on our Apple Watches, or something that pops up in Wise Option with timestamps, and we can create a history. And those can, as we know the results, how many follicles, how many oocytes we give. We can have the program managing, being the middle tier, the mediator, sending instructions, receiving responses. If more instructions, for example, I got 13 oocytes, what do I do with them? Okay, send this to facility X, send this to facility Z, and they will be in Wise Option as well. And they start, you send with instructions for the ICSI, and as they perform there, they just update Wise Option, you get the responses. So no more Google documents or text messages. The aspirations and ICSI places would just receive the requests, update the files, everything comes back to the original place, the origin. And we're gonna, as we do in most of the logs, we have an accountability of what the updates, so decisions can be made in a way faster manner. Do we need recipient mares? Do we have recipient mares? Do we need to prepare more recipient mares? Do we have tanks? Where are those extra embryos be frozen? Who is going to maintain? Who kept the last? And of course, we have to create some sort of intelligent or intelligible way to read those reports and those logs. I'm pretty sure that we're going to learn a lot from our users in this meeting on how to format the information collected from those different places. Once we collect the information, we can format the information in different ways. And that's what I'm really eager to learn from each one of them.
Perfect. Well, I was like, we're at about 2 minutes. That was a good job. Yes, definitely. And that's something I think good that you brought up too, especially, it's important to have that user feedback. And because as you can see, obviously, of course, based on the feedback we've gotten already, you can see how we already have a lot of ideas.
We're running out of space because this one is limited, right?
Yes, it is. Yes. So jumping on, and Word, please feel free to stop me, but jumping on to a few of the technical things. I know we sent that email out yesterday. We hadn't yet booked a hotel. So that was all the it was just Dallas Fort Worth area. We have gone ahead and reserved a location at a hotel. It's going to be the Courtyard Marriott, and it's going to be the one by the Dallas Fort Worth Airport, and it's going to be the North Irving location. I will post all that details after this on the discussion group, as well as we'll send out an email probably later this afternoon with all the updated details as well. Again, the cost is still a little TBD because we need a final head count for that cost per person per day. Like I said earlier, you can of course reserve a spot or 2 or 3, however many employees you're going to be sending to each meeting. And again, you can come to one meeting, you can come to both meetings. You can pick and choose there as well. But like I said, it will be a cost per person per day that everyone, including Wise Option, will be sharing. Yes.
I just want to make sure that everybody knows that we are going to be very clear and open about there's no overhead, there's no markup, there's nothing, whatever the cost is for the room and the food and whatever we need, the logistics, that's it. So it should be something, just actually to cover whatever we're.
Yes.
And this time we are not having sponsors, so we don't have time for sponsors to do their pitch. So that's why we have sales pitch. So we need those minutes for us to work.
Yes. Thank you for clarifying that. Definitely. And speaking of getting an accurate head count, we talked this morning, and for everything for the hotel reservation and everything like that, for the room reservation, we need to know a final head count by this coming Wednesday, which is June 2nd. So again, if you haven't already RSVP'd and responded to that email and you want to, please do so. Like I said, at the very latest by Wednesday, June 2nd, that's when we need to lock in our head count. So please let us know by then. And like I said, at that time, then we can give an accurate cost per person per day, but it will be somewhere in the ballpark of $30 plus or minus $10 again per person per day. So just to kind of give you guys an estimate there, but like I said, it's not set in stone. We do need an accurate head count in order to provide that. And like Eduardo said, this is just the total cost of between the meeting, renting out the meeting room and all those facilities, as well as also lunch both days. Like I said, there's no markup. It is just whatever they're charging us for that is what we're splitting amongst everyone. So just to give you guys a little bit of a heads up on that. Like I said, that'll all be in an email probably later this afternoon and posted here on the discussion group. But like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to also email info@wiseoption.com or respond to this video, comment on this video, and we'll get back to you with that.
I also noticed that some of Wise Option 5 users are, showing interest in coming to the meeting. I'd like to let you know, yes, please come, because it might be another incentive for you to move to Wise Option 6. If you are in Wise Option 5 and you have serious plans to come to Wise Option 6 next year, you are more than welcome. If you're just knowing, or just you think you're going to stick one more year because you still have next year on Wise Option 5, maybe this is not for you. Because we are really diving into the things Wise Option 6 and the cloud can do for us. But if you are Wise Option 5 and you are, looking for Wise Option 6 next season, next year, please come. We need your input.
Yes, definitely. Very much so. And like I said, we definitely understand and appreciate, needing to migrate at the right time. But this is a great opportunity for, like Eduardo said, for those of you on Wise Option 5 that are looking to migrate to 6, especially next year. And you meet these criteria, you are one of these facilities, whether you need the stallion breeding contracts, the ICSI, this is the time to do that. And this is the time to go ahead and join us. And like I said, have a say, or have a discussion about something that you're going to be using the next year. So yeah, great point to point out, Eduardo. And of course, all these changes are going to just be made on Wise Option 6 because it means the cloud. As you know, Wise Option 5 is locked. So it is just for Wise Option 6. But like I said, do really appreciate the feedback we're getting from Wise Option 5 users wanting to come, which is awesome. And I really look forward to it.
Yes. What else?
You know what? I think I will double check, but I think we hit I think we hit everything. Yep. Deadline next Wednesday, June 2nd, or I should say this coming Wednesday, June 2nd. Please let us know by that day if you would like to come or not. We still do have seats open at the moment. So if you have not sent an email, responded to that email at info@wiseoption.com, please do so.
I think that discussion group is going to be a good point as well, especially the stallion. The ICSI, I think we should still have more room to go,
Yes.
but I believe that the stallion,
Stallion's
those
definitely
interests
getting tighter.
should come fast because that one should close real quick.
Yes. Yes, it is definitely. So yeah, like I said, especially Eduardo made a very good point. If you are a stallion facility or you utilize those stallion breeding contracts, if you have not responded to that email, you've been thinking about it, I get on it sooner rather than later. Those spots are definitely going a lot quicker. So just as a heads up there.
Yep. And we're going to let you know once it's complete. And I think probably a meeting or some quick overview here on the discussion group later to let everybody know. Post meeting, the key points.
Oh, yes.
And then we're going to dive working and, June, July, August, September, it's going to be huge because my plan is to have something out by October 1st.
Yes. Yep. Most definitely. And exactly right. I know you mentioned the stallion breeding contracts, wanting to get them by that so that they had time, as they're receiving contracts for breeding season. Oh my gosh, 2022. These years are going by fast. 2022, that they can go ahead and have those new features. And same thing with the ICSI module as well. As everyone well knows, ICSI aspirations are kind of going through the roof. And one nice thing about that, of course, is the vitrification of embryos. You can do that outside of breeding season too. So that's inevitably going to happen through fall. So we'd love to get you guys some tools there to use still this year for that as well.
Yep. And my two last words on this would be the following. Number one, every place I go in my visits, everybody's kind of saying the same thing. Breeding season now is throughout the year.
Oh, yeah.
It could be, late June, some places, first weeks of July. And then so now with ICSI, and frozen semen and the South Hemisphere and things, it is a whole year thing. Everybody's saying, of course, that the first semester is the busiest one, but it never stops. Therefore, it brings me to my second point. If you're saying, oh, I don't have time for this, you should come, because this is the type of action that's going to make you more efficient, to have more time in your day. This is us helping you to make the day, instead of 24, 27 hours, like everybody wish it was.
Yes.
So those 3 extra hours, we're trying to make the computer those 3 extra hours for us instead of just, oh, I don't have time for this, I'm so busy. This is for you. You should come and be with us to work smarter, put the technology to do those dumb things for us, and create those extra time, so extra hours that we need so badly every week.
Yes, most definitely. Well, I think that is a great note to end it on. Like I said, of course, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Just email at info@wiseoption.com, and we'll get back with you on any details. And like, of course, I said in this video as well, we'll be sending out another email probably later this afternoon with a few updates, including, of course, the location of the meeting conference, which is going to be at that hotel. Like I said, I'll post all those details here as well, and we will go from there.
Let's make it happen.
Perfect. So excited to get to see everybody, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.